Ziad sat down with Paula and said, I don't need to know what's happening in your personal life. That's not my business. But I do want you to know that I'm in your corner, that I've got your back. So what can we do to take some stuff off your plate to make this work for you? Does the approach sound okay so far? It's not okay so far. It's actually a train wreck. My biggest work with leaders is helping them switch and shift from parenting to partnering. Ziad is taking a classic parenting approach, assuming that he knows best and trying to fix Paula's situation by taking stuff off her plate. And sometimes when people try to fix us, it actually creates more frustration and more depletion. Every time they had that type of conversation, it was deeply unfulfilling as both of them walked away. It was in this time period that Ziad happened to come to one of my sessions around energizing people's brains. And he learned that it's not magic. In fact, it's not something you're either born with or not born. It's a trainable skill. Anyone can learn how to do it. And it's all about understanding what matters most and connecting on what matters most. Ziad learned that in any situation, there are things that matter most to us. So, for instance, in some situations, belonging, inclusion, acceptance, feeling part of the tribe, social relationships, that is the thing that is deeply energizing for our brains. But there are other situations where we feel a little bit off balance, and security is the thing. So systems, structures, consistency, rules, and fair play. But in other situations, it's all about freedom. It's all about autonomy and independence, the ability to get our fingerprints on things, take a risk, and make decisions. But in other situations, it is all about significance, the ability to do quality and excellent work, make progress, achieve great results, move the needle. And in some situations, it is all about meaning, purpose, legacy, the greater good, changing the world. And it's very important to understand and connect on what matters most to the person in the specific situation that they are in. Ziad came into this, and what mattered most to him in this situation was freedom. He needed to get free of hand-holding a problem employee. And so he assumed that freedom must be the thing that mattered most to Paula as well. So his approach was, how do we take stuff off your plate? How do we free up mind space for you? Because I know this is stressful for you. And as I said, what happened was it was deeply unfulfilling for both of them. What he learned was that for Paula, significance was the deal. And here's how he learned that. You don't have to be a mind reader. You don't have to be a therapist. You don't have to be an expert coach to find out what matters to another person. In fact, the people who are best at it do one simple thing. They ask, what's most important to you in this situation? So Ziad came back from that training session, had a simple conversation with Paula and said, Paula, this has been difficult. I'm wondering if you and I could do a redo of some of our conversations, because I know they've been frustrating. I want to ask you one question. What matters most to you in this situation? Her response was instant. She said, I want to be seen as a high performer. I want to be seen as somebody who is highly productive. But every time I meet with you, you take stuff off my plate. You take challenges away from me. You take learning opportunities away from me. I want more challenges at work. And Ziad is thinking, who would have thought that somebody who is struggling with stress and sickness and absenteeism wants more challenge at work? And he didn't know if she could really step up and do it, but he thought, let's give it a go. And he started giving her challenge after challenge and coming alongside of her and helping her out. And what happened was, every time he did, she stepped up and she hit it out of the park. Well, when you start to understand what matters most, possibility very fluidly flows from that. And they started to see new ways of Paula adding value and stepping in and being innovative. And when that starts to happen, it's very natural to move into partnering together for progress. So what was happening inside the brains of our two journeyers here? What was happening was there were some powerful high-performance hormones that were flowing. Thanks to the work of Dr. Loretta Bruning and the Mammal Institute, we know what happens inside the minds of mammals when you put them in certain situations. So for instance, you see the mother and her cub. There is a powerful hormone that is richly flowing in this situation. Some of you know what it is. It's oxytocin. Not to be confused with Oxycontin. And when you create connection between two mammals, and we're mammals, so we can learn from this, connection releases oxytocin.